Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Melissa and I am super excited to be here with you today. We are coming live from Vision Works Counseling and Coaching, and I am with Miss Shaunesse Bell today, one of our clinicians that works with adolescents and young adults. Welcome, Shaunesse.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. So, this is the time of year where we're getting phone calls from parents. And literally, they're having a lot of things going on with their tweens and their teens. And a lot of it is around identity. Tell us what's happening with teenagers at this point.
Okay, so with teenagers, it can go from, of course, it being your little baby, and then they begin to shift into wanting to create their own identity. Oftentimes, they come in, and a lot of things come into factor. It could be family, cultural, societal things that make them want to look at themselves and present in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So at school, what's some of the things that we're seeing, by the time we get those phone calls? What's happening at school?
It could be a number of things. Sometimes it's bullying. Sometimes it's really peer interaction. They want to feel accepted by their friends. So again, like I said previously with the presentations, if they don't necessarily feel accepted, sometimes those things can come out and play something different for them.
Absolutely. And they're probably also having issues with hormones, right?
For sure. Hormones is a big factor for that.
Yeah. So like puberty, all I can say is God bless the parents, right?
Right.
And they start to become their own selves. And also like all those sex hormones, it's so many different things happening at school. So whether the boy likes you, doesn't like you, the girls want to hang out with you, don't want to hang out with you, things the teachers say, because I have an 11-year-old right now. So I know all the conversations at the end of the day, I just be like, whoa, whoa, okay, okay, okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now,
Yeah,
I'm not there as far as, having an 11-year-old. My son is 8, so I do have some time. But however, I've been a teen before as well. The hormones, they start to rage. Sometimes girls start to feel themselves. Sometimes they just don't really feel comfortable within themselves. It depends on what side of the spectrum they are. And males the same way.
yeah. The other thing that, I even noticed, and I know a lot of our parents have asked about, is the anger factor. Because like really dialing in your emotions takes time and it's like learning ourselves. And honestly, during this identity really crisis stage, these emotions be all over the place. So they could go from happy to sad to like, what? Like in a matter of minutes.
Absolutely. They definitely are going to, they're not familiar with emotion regulation as of yet sometimes. So, being able to tap into, okay, what's going on? This is the feeling that I'm feeling. Why am I feeling like this? They need help processing that. And that's where the parents come in for sure.
Absolutely. So what's some things that parents can do to help their child through this stage?
So that for sure they can support them because again, like I said, it goes with, being accepted by others and they're also trying to find their own identity outside of their family, just being able to allow them to present themselves as the way that they are. Not saying things like rigid things like, oh, well, just be yourself because they don't know who they are yet. They're still developing. Also just continuing to just support and playing with the ideas of they may shift into someone else because that's technically what we do. We are forever evolving.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times parents really see this through the outward appearance. Because I know for me, like this is around the age, and this is my youngest baby. So my oldest is 27, but this is around the age when we want to pick out our own clothes. We want to wear our hair differently. Like, and as a parent, you've gotten accustomed to like choosing what they wear, going to
Mhm.
the store, picking it out, like, blah, blah, and they're like, no, I want to be a part of that decision. No, I don't want those pants. No,
Right.
that hairstyle, please don't put that back on me. And then so it's like, it's this little person now starting to express all the ways in which they feel about so many different things.
For sure, for sure. I think that it's important for you to let your younger person just choose those different things that they want to explore, whether it's fashion or it's social media, certain things, personas that they want to present. allow them to do it as long as there's no harm. And with that, I'm going to say that you want to make sure that you still uphold the boundaries and the rules within the household, as long as they're not breaking that. And if they do break that, you want to stay consistent and also uphold the consequences that follow. But outside of that, just let your team be who they are and just embrace it with them because they're forever learning.
Absolutely. And I think like for us, by the time we see teenagers and young adults, they've really struggling at school. So some of this stuff is starting to present in behavioral issues. Um, they might be a child that got bullied, and therefore we're seeing depression, suicidal ideation, like different things. Or they may be a kid who bullies. And on the other spectrum of that is like anger, frustration, and them not being able to manage. So how does a parent know when they should bring their kid in for therapy? Like they should get more support outside of what they're able to offer.
So I believe at that point, parents definitely, while the child is continuously changing, I think that it becomes a problem when the child is completely out of control, out of, the grasp that your child to be. If you're setting up boundaries and the child is unable to follow those rules and things like that, I would say reach out for help a little sooner than later because it becomes something else at times when it's not done efficiently.
Yeah, and absolutely, like when teachers are getting involved, when you're getting multiple phone calls, about your child, or your child is having what I call the laying of hands on other kids, like, things like that. And again, I think, and this is the last topic that we'll touch on. Sometimes parents take it personal, right? So when their child is having these behaviors, their young adult is having this behavior, it's like, what did I do to cause this? Like I try to do all, because we see that a lot. And what would you say to that parent who's struggling right now and is like, how did I affect this? Like what am I doing wrong?
I would say extend yourself some grace because you're doing the best that you can as a parent. Parenthood is hard within itself. However, you want to continue to support the growth in the teenager. So it's nothing that you may have done, any decisions that you have made. It is the teenager going through the motion. So just support them as much as possible.
Yeah. And I remember, ooh, wow, whoa. I tell parents, just brace yourself. This doesn't last forever. But I remember my 27-year-old, like that senior year, like she was perfect. When I say perfect, like the best. Okay. Like I can't even tell you like whatever. But senior year, I was like, who is this lady? Like every day it was like confrontation, talking back and forth. It was very interesting. And it threw me off. And then, of course, that happened with my second child. And again, me as a therapist being thrown off, like, what's happening here? And I remember each one of them saying, hey, you taught us to express ourselves. You told us to share how we really feel. Like, yeah, I did, but didn't know. So I think a lot of times parents are just taken back by the idea that their child is forming their own identity, has their own opinions about what it is they want to do, where they want to go, is questioning. And just know, if you're listening to this, this is the stage where you do this. This is a stage where you question spirituality. Like, is this the right church for me? I'm not sure about the group that I hang out with at church. Friends, like, yeah, I know that's your best friend, mom, but I don't like her kids. Like all of these things, this is when they're starting to learn and create preferences, and it's totally okay. And I also will say, and I said all that to just say, at the end of the day, they come back. So
Yes.
my 27-year-old is amazing, and we have such a great relationship. And so is my 21-year-old next month. So they do come back, and it all works well, and they do shift.
For sure.
That this stage is so important because that is where they are really forming who they are apart from you, and it's so important just to be there. Any final thoughts?
So, with final thoughts, I would like to leave parents with this, whoever's listening. I think that as therapists and even as parents, we plant seeds. And as we plant those seeds, you just have to allow that to grow. Whatever they do, like you said previously, like you said that you kind of told your children to express themselves. It doesn't matter what age they chose to pick that up. They chose at that point. It could be 27, it could be 11. However, they chose to do that and they express themselves so they continue to grow. So just embrace that, support the child, and I think you guys will be all right.
Absolutely. So If you want to work with Shaunesse, someone else at our organization, contact us at www.visionworkscoaching.com. Shaunesse, this has been a great conversation. Looking forward to talking to you real soon. Thank you.